Hi, welcome to Cymatic TV. This is your energy update for the week on Sunday, the 22nd, start of the Scorpio season. Happy birthday to all you Scorpios coming up in this season now. Yes, we're going to be talking about energy and conflicts. Is there a connection between solar cycles, the energies of the earth, the energies of the people, and conflicts which we can say are major conflicts across the world and the globe? We're also going to be looking into El Nino and El Nino because we're getting into a longer term cycle here. And when you get this transition, there is interesting things that you can do for yourself in order to manifest what you want in the future. And we will be going through that, and it's understanding these transitions and these changing of vibrations, which is really important. Obviously, at the end, we'll be getting the chakra sequencing of the ley line here, and we're also going to be asking the Earth's energy what the Earth has. Does it have any opinions about what's going on and what sort of messages she can give us as a collective or even individually for each single one of us, what she thinks.
Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.
First thing let's look at is the El Nino and El Nina cycles. Now, obviously, if you speak Spanish, that means baby in masculine and feminine, as far as I can tell. And it depends on which way it's blowing, as you can well see on this map here. On El Nino, it blows in the way of Australia. And in El Nino, it blows in the way of South America. So it's blowing in one direction to the solar plexus, and we're just coming to the end of that, where it's going to be changing into El Nino and start building up, blowing that energy into the root chakra. And this will tie into our second topics about wars as well. This is the understanding of the longer term cycle. So this is the when you put it up against solar cycles, which you can well see here, usually the changing point between the two, you have the El Nino and the El Nino. So this is on a transition. This is a good time for you to set what you want to be doing over the next 3 to 6 years, basically. And just getting an idea, so meditating on those ideas and understanding on that we are actually going to be going down on a downshift. So actually concentrating on yourself and how you engage in the world for the next 3 to 6 years. After that, once the El Nino comes back, that's when it's going to be shifting up. And that's how you put yourself into the rest of the world. So this is a good technique at the moment for longer term cycles within us. And we've seen these cycles in the astro flower with 9 month, 18 month, 3 year, 6 year, 12 year and 24 year cycles, which takes in roughly 2 solar cycles, and slightly longer than that. And these El Nino and El Nina really change the vibration, something down from central concentration on us into our root chakra of how we are with ourselves in the earth. And this is where the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipse seems to be coming into play as well. Now let's look at solar cycles and conflict, global conflict. I'll stay straight before we go anywhere here. Conflict is the most unconscious way to resolve something in the world. It is like school kids fighting in the schoolyard. It is so ridiculous. And I'm not blaming anybody here for anything on either side of this whole sort of scenario. Because it's obviously something that's been around for a very, very long time. Conflicts between humans. But there is something to do with energy, and how does energy affect these cycles here? As you can well see on this solar flare graph here, we've just sort of put on some of the dates according to the wars according to the solar cycles. And the particular ones to look out for is the Second World War, which comes off the back of 3 very low solar cycles, and then it kicks in from the 1940s, and this is what brings us out of that war. It's like the energy has been lacking, and we can see this in other cycles, but the wars tend to hit on peaks of the height of the solar maximum, and that's what seems to be happening at the moment. Yes, it could well be a conflict, but we haven't had the 3 low cycles in the past past 3 cycles. We've only had 2, and now we're sort of coming out of the solar maximum into the solar minimum. So it's the energy's there for potential localized conflicts, but I wouldn't say an all-out worldwide conflict. And I think this is what we've got to understand. And maybe it's about time that, as I've been talking about the conscious revolution, the evolution, where common sense rules, this is where maybe I've seeing a lot of demonstrations and manifestations for one side and the other. Maybe there should be just a silent walk. Maybe someone could organize this, a silent walk for peace. Just because the majority of people, I think the majority of people on this world does not want to have a war with another person. I think that's pretty much true. And if we really live in a democratic world, then maybe it's about time we stood up and said, do you know what? This conflict and all that doesn't really go anywhere. So energy doesn't really buy into one side or the other of the conflicts at all. It doesn't look at the world as good and bad, as I've explained in that last video about how we use energy lines in order to help ourselves individually. If you haven't seen that video, you'll find it on our channel. There'll be a link at the end of this video as well. So energy doesn't do that. Energy likes to explore the possibilities, yes. But the thing is, conflicts or repeating conflicts that go around the world, energy has almost done the rounds of the energy. And there's nothing that really comes out of this, because energy also goes into destruction as much as it goes into construction. And it increases the both, or it invests its energy in the both, because there is this whole sort of boom and bust like we can also see in the economy, which we will be going into next week, where solar cycles actually drive a little bit behind the boom and bust of the energies of the economy. But that means it also drives us as individuals. And once we take an individual stance with this energy, that's when we can really start making a difference. So why don't we just take a bit of advice from this energy here? We're going to go and get the chakra sequencing, and we're going to get a message from the earth from the female perspective on the female energy, and then we're going to be getting it from the male perspective on the male line. If you want to know about the lines, male and female, I did explain it in the last video as well. So that will be linked at the end of the video. So let's just go onto those lines now, and let's just see what the information the earth can give us. So here we are at Westwell village in Kent. As you can well see there, it's starting to kick in here. And we're going to just walk it all the way across this beautiful church called St Mary's. So the title might give you a clue. And then we've just come through here, and that's where there you go, it's starting to kick out there. It's really quite a nice large line. So as we follow it round now, so let's just see coming through here what goes on here. So we're coming out of that, so that female energy is no longer touching us, and that's when it starts. Look at that major kick in there. Well, this is sorry, with the male energy was sort of leaving us, and there we're going to go. Look at that, it really does. It's starting, look at it, it's even pulling back on me there because it's trying to look for the centre of the line, and it now knows I'm going through it, and that's where it's starting to open up. So there we go, we've just gone through, on the far side that was the male line where we started with. Now we've moved into the female line, both of them very quite big. As you can well see on this picture here, this is on the other end of the church there. You can see that there's 3 windows at the bottom, 2 windows above it, and then a circle. So basically that tells me, as a masonry builders, and this is what decoding churches is all about, and sort of historical buildings, you've got the 3 and you've got the 2. So the 3 is the female, the 2 is the male. And that's sitting on top of the female. This is much more of a female generating energy church than a male generating church. So we're going to go back on to the female line, and we're going to just obviously get the chakra sequencing, And also we're going to be asking the earth questions this time and getting the different types of messages according to what we've been talking about today. Just come onto the female line here. Just connecting all our energies into it. It's lovely, I tell you what, the female line just makes you smile. You know, it could be the fact that I'm a male, but I don't think so. I think it also makes humans generally smile. And that's my experience through my workshops and stuff like that. It's amazing how you can find out the connection to your true self when you do these ley line workshops with me. Absolutely amazing. But anyway, back to connecting now. We're just waiting for that sequence now. There's one just playing through at the moment. I'm just letting it come in. So there we go, we've got the first one there. It goes straight to the crown and straight to the root at the same time. Similar to what we had last time as well. Then it's coming into the throat chakra. Now this is playing on the left-hand side. It's almost as if it's like authority, administration. It's always right and wrong sort of words that need to be said. And then we've got the sacrum going on as well. This is a really beautiful cycle actually, with the sacrum as well, and the third eye as well, which is tapping. So this is about sort of seeing our fundamental desires and what we really want in life. And then we got the solar plexus that is playing in here. And then that's when the heart kicks in. The heart, I just love the heart. It really is really nice. That's absolutely beautiful. There is a bit of a case here because I've got in the knee. Now a knee in French is called genou. And anybody who knows about French, once you break that word down, you get the je, which is I, and nous, which is us. And it may be a case of how we actually administrate the I and the us. That's what possibly coming through from it. Let's just connect to the earth now. And let's see. So I'm being pulled back into the crossing point here. It's really pulling me backwards. So I'm just going to go with it and allow my things to go. There was a little bit of the gallbladder playing in. Okay, we're down now in the center of the earth. Here, up against, this is, let me just see what's going on with the center of the earth here. See what's going on with the plasma ball in the center of the earth. It heightens every sort of sense that you've got around you. Okay, I've just asked the question about what does the energy think about conflicts? And what I got straight away was this lovely matriarchic ideology of a female that rules the roost, and it's sort of like a West Indian sort of mama to everyone. And I used to grow up, you know, when I grew up in London, had these lovely West Indian women who sort of controlled the laundromat, and they were lovely to be around. Anyway, I'm digressing as well. Sorry, she just told me off. The energy just said to come to the story now. Okay, so the energy is sort of saying, grow up. You all come from one seed. Grow up. No one has rights over this earth. No one has rights over our connection to the big spirit. None of us have this sort of like, I have rights over you and tell you what to do sort of scenario. But you've got to feel it. You've got to connect yourself to that energy. Once you start connecting to that energy, you're going to know. That's what she's saying here. Just stop messing around. It's like she's gone up to cut the kids and just went, hey, stop messing around. Grow up. You're brothers and sisters, man. We're all in the same boat. Let's start working it together. Okay? That's what comes from the female line. Now let's just go and see what the male line says. That can be something completely different. Okay, so we've just come around, you're never going to believe, as we just came around there, shame we didn't catch it on camera, but a white dove just flew in between us as we were going from one line to the other. I think energy's trying to tell us something here, folks. I think it's about time we stopped and listened. So we're now on the male line, so we're going to get a male energy perspective of all of this. So without further ado, let's just connect to that energy. We're connecting to that energy now. It's lovely. I'm just waiting for the sequencing to go through. There we go. We've got the first connection on the sternum. That goes right to the crown and the root, but certainly not as deep as over there. It's not as permanent. And we are in the sacrum, and the sacrum is like fluffy. It's like candy floss. It's not really hard sort of individual or fundamental desires here. It's really soft. It's almost like an authority that's sweet, that comes along with it. And then we got the solar plexus as well that kicks in. That's quite strong, sturdy. That's very male energy. And then we got the throat here that's playing in as well. Got a little bit on the third eye. And that seems to then play into the root and the crown as well at the same time. A little bit onto the solar plexus. And then it sort of comes into the connection. So there's no, I didn't feel any heart again. What's going on here on the male line. So that's quite interesting that the heart's lacking a little bit. Let's just stay connected to that energy. We're just going to go in now. I can feel the crossing line. It's pulling me. So go in. That's when we get the spiral or the vortex of energy that takes us down to the center of the earth. It's a little bit harder to do because the female line, which we did a moment ago, is a lot more dominant here. And we go in and then we go down to the center of the earth. There we go. We're onto the center of the earth. It's like I arrived and the energy went, "You're back. What are you doing? What are you doing here again?" So I'm just going in. I'm just going to put my hand into the plasma ball, just to get that feeling of the center of the earth. There we go, getting it there. And just now asking the similar sort of question, ask the energy the same question. And it does take on this all-encompassing giant of an energy in a way, more than anything else, really imposing energy. It's almost as if it's sort of saying, energy is the authority. Nature is the authority. Nature and energy is the overriding continuum across space and time, across the whole of the universe. It's now acting like a parent saying, "Okay, kids, your playtime's over. Put your toys away. And now it's time to get back to work." It's almost sort of saying, I am the authority here. There is nothing above. And anybody who thinks they have some form of authority over you and your connection to this energy is not there. You go straight to the horse's mouth if I was you. I wouldn't take it from anybody else. I would take it only from you and your connection to this energy. It almost feels like I am the omega, I am the alpha and the omega. That's what it's sort of saying here. I'm the beginning and the end. I am everything. That's what the energy is sort of saying here. It is the authority, and it's the only authority that we should really be taking into account as we go into this common sense sort of revolution that we're going into. All conflict should come to an end. It's a waste of time and space. No one will win. Not one person will win out of this. But everybody, and I mean everybody, the entire world could lose. It's not a bet that I want to put my money on. I almost get a second image here. It's like a family that's going off on holiday. This is where we're combining the male and female energies together. It's like the parents are getting everything sorted for the holidays, getting the car packed, making sure all the bags are packed and everything like that. They're ready to go and take the boat, making sure they got your passports, your papers and everything like that. And it's almost as if energy is sort of saying, "Okay, kids, stop messing around, get in the car, let's go." Because we're moving from one dimension to another, and it's time to get on board. People, get ready. There's a train a-coming. It's a great song. It's an old classic song. I know it through Sonny Terry and Brown and McGee. Check it out. Absolutely brilliant song. And I think that sums up and capsulates what this energy is trying to sort of say. Maybe it's a case that we need to be starting to sort of be the adults in the room. Start standing up with energy, and it will back us up in order to stop all of this sort of thing. And we just come back into out the vortex, back into the body. Absolutely brilliant. Love doing these energy updates, and one of the reasons I love doing it is because you're here. It's absolutely brilliant. I really do appreciate all the support you give to this channel. Absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough, basically. Yes, I will see you soon. Don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy. And also, don't believe, just know.